honestly, I just think of myself like in a tight dress and sweating, and that is not something your girl likes to do. What's up, guys? It's Marissa with Barely Keeping It Together. I wanted to chat with you guys about all of the prep that I do, from menu planning to everything else before Thanksgiving and hosting guests in our home. I'm Marissa. I'm a borderline crazy dog mom, a landlord, a DIYer, an interior design obsessed pop culture enthusiast, a real estate entrepreneur, and I'm simultaneously managing a long distance relationship while working full time. I'm the kind of woman who doesn't have the patience to get through this recording. So let's get into it. This is Barely Keeping It Together. Okay, let me start out by saying I do have a fun printable for you guys that I will share down in the description below, as well as on my website at Barely Keeping It Together. I think you guys are gonna love it. It is my menu planner, it is my guest planner, it is my cooking time prep planner. So, and I have it in 3 styles that are all fun and festive, yet chic and, you know, like a chic people. Anyway, let's get into what I like to do to prepare for Thanksgiving. Now, this is going to be a list of 10 items, some of which are obvious, some of which are not obvious. So let's get into it. First thing is we need to create a guest list of who is going to be coming for Thanksgiving, who is just coming the day of the holiday, and then who is going to be coming and spending the night, or extended house guests that you're gonna have in your home. So for example, we do have local family. I wanna say like 4 or 5 people are coming day of the holiday, and then we have an additional 4 guests that are gonna be staying in our house for a couple days. So not only do we need a list of who's coming, but how long they're coming for. And then into tip number 2 is any dietary restrictions that your guests may have, because that's going to affect not only your Thanksgiving meal planning, but also the meal planning for the other days that you're going to have guests in town for the holidays. So this person's not a guest in my home, he lives here, but my brother does not eat any red meat. So, but actually some of our guests are like super into eating red meat. So we'll probably have burgers or steak or something while they're here, but we need to plan to make sure that we have additional options because my brother's not gonna eat that stuff. In terms of actually planning for the day of the holiday, I like to do a menu plan. So I do have this in the printable that I created for you guys down linked below in the description. But what we do is we go through a menu plan of drinks, appetizers, main courses, side dish, desserts, and extras. And then not only do we have what the item is that we're gonna be making for the holiday, but then also who's assigned to make it, in terms of, I wouldn't even call it a potluck, because we do have in-laws that come and do bring things from home, but also different people in the house are cooking different things. It's not, you know, this is 2020. So everybody here is cooking and cooking different things. So we like to sort of map out who is responsible for what in terms of the menu planning. On top of that, if I did not make my house seem chaotic enough for the holiday, we have a lot, like legitimately, this isn't an expression, we legitimately have a lot of cooks in the kitchen. Pause for laughter. Sorry, I'm seriously so cheesy, but it's honestly true. We do have like a lot of cooks in our kitchen. All right, you guys are over me. So with that being said, what we like to do, and it is included in the printable as one of the pages that I'm including for you, is a cook planning sheet. So for example, we would put, okay, we need the bird to cook at this temperature for this amount of time. What else is at that temperature? Or we have another baked item. So we have cook times, temperatures, order of importance, and what the item is. And so then you can sort of map out what your plan is. So for example, I'm gonna be making the stuffing and potentially a dessert, but I'm gonna know, okay, I'm gonna make this in advance and I'm gonna make this the day of, but my kitchen slot time is 11 a.m. and then I can plan around that, because honestly, like, I'm not exaggerating, you guys, because there are so many cooks in my family. If we don't plan this out, we'll either be fighting or all dancing around each other in the kitchen, and that's just not fun, and like it can cause chaos. We like to ensure that we sort of have that all mapped out, who is cooking what and when, and then there is no additional drama on the holiday. I mean, of course there's going to be some drama, right? But no additional cooking drama on the holiday. So beyond that, I think that there are a couple important things to plan to make your life easier. I think that the dinner the night before and the breakfast the day of the holiday should be things that are going to be simple, no stress items for you. So for example, for dinner the night before Thanksgiving, we might plan an easy crock pot dinner. Two dinners that I love to make that are super easy in the crock pot are something called chicken cups, which is my sister-in-law's recipe. It's almost like it tastes like chicken pot pie, but it's in a crock pot. I don't know. So it's like chicken pot pie, but healthier. Chicken tacos in the crock pot, and those are super simple, easy cleanup. You don't have to worry about cooking because you're probably going to be doing prep in the kitchen that day and all that sort of stuff. So those, by the way, if you guys are interested in any of the recipes that I'm talking about, leave me a comment down below or shoot me a DM on Instagram. My handle is @barelykeepingittogether. I don't have recipes on my website, but honestly, you know your girl loves to cook, and I'm happy to share any recipes with you because that's just what I do. And then also the day of the holiday, it's nice to have easy breakfast items for the family. So a couple examples of this, one that is super, not like famous, but like a go-to in my family is to get the croissants from Trader Joe's, and then you can just like turn on the oven and bake them the morning of, and those are really good. They come chocolate, plain almond, I wanna say. Very good. I also like to do muffins, so we could just get a bunch of pastries, like muffins and that sort of stuff, and do a fruit salad, and then we're not worrying about what breakfast is and being short order cooks and all the things the day of the holiday beyond the main holiday meal. So super easy breakfast, super easy dinner the night before. It's gonna make your life so much easier, especially if you are hosting guests. Now, in terms of hosting guests in your home, something that's going to make your life a lot easier is if you prepare your dining table decor. If you're like me, right? We don't just have our table setting of the actual plates and knives and everything, but we have the table decor of whether that's pine cones or candles or all sorts of fun fall Thanksgiving things, and having that done in advance of the holiday, and in advance, sorry, my point really is in advance of any out-of-town guests that you have coming to your home. Because if you have that all set up, then you're not sort of scurrying about, worrying about when you're gonna set up the table under stress. Honestly, I just think of myself like in a tight dress and sweating, and that is not something your girl likes to do. So yeah, having your table prepared in advance of any house guests that you have coming is gonna save your life. Now, my next point is kind of funny, because if you were to ask me like a leading characteristic of my family, it's that they like to go to the grocery store. Like, these people live and die by the grocery store. I'm not kidding. Well, I mean, like, I guess literally we all do live and die by the grocery store, but these people will go to the grocery store every single day. So one of the things I have on my list is to go grocery shopping in advance of any of your out-of-town guests coming for the holiday. So then you have everything that you're gonna need. Now, because it's my family, they will now go to the grocery store an additional 3 to 4 times before the holiday, but at least we have our turkey, our potatoes, our butter, our sweet potatoes, our green beans, our salad fixings, our all those sorts of things. And then they can be worried about more butter and a roll of bread. Now, I literally just told you my family's priorities, bread and butter. Like that's really how they roll. But going shopping in advance of them coming is gonna make life easier, and then they'll go in another 3 or 4 times while they're here. But it will remove stress from your life by just having things ready. Preparing in advance is gonna make your life so much easier, so you're not just like hustling while you have guests in town. On that note of having guests in town and wanting to be prepared, if you have a list of activities for everybody to do in their downtime. For example, maybe on Thanksgiving Day after dinner, or maybe the night before or the day after, just having some local go-to things that you could do. So for example, here we have a nature preserve / hike place very, very close that we can take the dogs. It's COVID friendly, so we don't have to worry about being near people. Now, if it wasn't COVID, maybe we would do Black Friday shopping or going to a movie or going somewhere fun, but those things are off the table for now. So some of the things that I have on the list that our family can do is go for a walk at the nature preserve, go do lawn games. I did say on my guest room video, if you guys didn't check that out, I will link that above. I have a video of all the things that you need in your guest room to prepare for the holidays. But I talk about the fact that if you have a fun family that likes to do girly or like luxe things together, you could do face masks, you could do, I don't know, you could paint your nails, you could do family games. We like to do family games a lot when we have people in town because it's just, you know, everybody is so different, right? I don't know, like my uncle loves to hunt and fish, but like, it's not like I'm hunting and fishing, you know? But like, we can all get into a good game or like have a glass of wine and play something that's not an icebreaker, but it's just like fun and everybody's gonna enjoy it. So family games, yard games, face masks, and nature walks are on my list of things we can do when we have downtime, but have the guests in town. Now, my last number 10 piece of advice honestly makes me laugh out loud because it just proves what fools my family are in the most loving way. I love you guys. But is to prepare a list of shows that everyone is gonna like from Netflix or Hulu or Prime before people come. Because if you are like typical Pellegrini family gatherings, we put the baby to sleep at night, we go sit down in front of the TV as a family, and then we fight or scroll for 2 hours and never find anything that we all want to watch. So if you sort of brainstorm or scroll before you have guests coming and have a list of shows that everyone's gonna enjoy, it will make everything so much easier when your guests are actually in town. So let me give you a couple examples. We love to do the Great British Baking Show as a family because it's just like lighthearted. Nobody's gonna dislike it. You could do a comedy type 30-minute show, for example, Parks and Rec, or by the way, Schitt's Creek if you haven't watched it, but like, I mean, do you live under a rock? And then I know that Hulu is actually coming out with Eater has a new cooking show. Okay, you guys can tell my family is obsessed with food and yeah, we just love food. So Eater has a new cooking and travel show that I think is coming out before Thanksgiving on Hulu, and we're for sure gonna have that on the list. So having that list of shows just gets rid of the bickering, it saves time, and it just makes everybody's trip and family time together a whole lot more enjoyable. So again, you guys, I do have that printable. It has the menu planner, both for a potluck and non-potluck option. It has the kitchen timer and it has a guest list planner with dietary restrictions. You guys should either check it out in the link below or jump over to my website, barelykeepingittogether.com, and you can download and print whichever version of that that you like best aesthetically. I gave you a couple options there. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoy this. I hope you have the happiest holiday season with your family, have quality time, prepare in advance. You don't have to worry about the little details. And then when it comes to the day of, the week of, when you actually have your family go, just let it all go, have a cup of coffee, tea, wine, whatever it is that you enjoy, and just enjoy time with your family because COVID has shown us all how difficult it can be to get time with your loved ones when you live in different geographic areas. All right, you guys, happy holidays. I love you, and I will chat with you later. Bye.